Really, I'm a little bit heartbroken today. We are in our third week of session. We should be at the state capitol working for you to create good policy that benefits every Arkansan from one corner to the next. And within the third week of the session, we are already finding ourselves, instead of talking about good policy, like tax reform, helping our businesses grow, economic development, health crisis, mental health crisis, we have found ourselves already on both ends of that house in culture battles. They've been dealing all week with drag queens. And literally dealing with drag queens. Hundreds of them. And Representative Wing and I spent 2 hours today in the House Education Committee dealing with transgenders. Now, I don't get it. I looked at the end of the table and I had a man, I think, in a dress and a bad wig. He was not pretty. And he said, I don't understand that. So I struggle with that, and I struggle with the fact that instead of talking about good things to improve the education opportunities for our kids, we spent 2 hours a day talking about where kids should be able, as Senator Hammer said, to go to the bathroom and not go to the bathroom, and where they should stay when they go on an overnight field trip to the school. I can't imagine what my mama would think today. So enough about that. Let's talk about what's going on that you all want to know more than about that. The governor has worked intently for the last 2 years as she campaigned across this state talking about empowering parents, about creating better literacy and learning opportunities for our kids, improving education in the state of Arkansas, and moving us out of those last 2 or 3 slots, making us number 1. And I have been pleased with the communication that I've received from the governor's office as we have walked through, working through and planning for this education reform package. So let me, rather than telling you what it is, let me tell you what it's not. Some have asked me on a very regular basis, when are we going to see a bill? When are we going to see a bill? Answer is, I can't tell you. I don't know. I know we're close. I know we are much closer today than we were 2 days ago. I was asked to work with, as a small group, with a couple other members of the House Ed Committee and a couple of members of the Senate Ed Committee as a focus group to work with them as kind of checks and balances as they work through some of the things and getting it ready to bounce us off of us and let us think about our communities and our experiences and edit it back. And they have been very open to listening to us as we represent you as to what you need and want for your kids. What it's not. When you hear the word omnibus bill, I think that sends a red flag up to everybody, and you think about Washington, D.C. A 4,000, 7,000 page bill. It's not that. Omnibus is just something, the fact that there's several things in it. I'll dispel the fact that you're hearing that it's 500, 700, 2,000 pages. It is not. I'm projecting we're probably going to be it's going to be a bill somewhere around 100 pages. And I believe it's going to be something that is very easily readable so that every citizen in the state of Arkansas will be able to look at that and will be able to understand how their child or their children is going to be better benefited in their education journey in the state of Arkansas. And I think the governor has been intent on that. She has consistently said to me, I want this to be right, I don't want it to be fast. And so, as many people have said, when are we going to see it, when are we going to see it? The reason there's nothing out there yet is because the governor is intent that when it drops, it's going to be right. I believe there's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 8 sections to it, talking about things like literacy, kindergarten through 3rd grade literacy, and how we as a state can improve on teaching our kids how to read. The statistics are overwhelming, but if a child does not know how to read in the 3rd grade, at 3rd grade level, when they get to 4th grade, it's downhill from there. Now, I'm very careful to put a disclaimer next to that. I am not saying that 4th grade teachers can't teach. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that what we learn is by the 3rd grade, if they're not reading right, it becomes very challenging to educate that child going forward. The governor wants to see a real emphasis also put on 4th through 8th grade math. That is the second ability piece. You can't do math unless you can read. So we've got to teach them how to read, then we've got to teach them how to do math. The governor is very committed to career and technical advancements in our state, having students career ready for when they, look, my parents probably thought I was going to go to an Ivy League school when I was little, but it wasn't long before they realized that I wasn't. But most moms want, you dream big, and you want the best for your kids, you want to provide them the best opportunities possible, right? Right. The truth of the matter is, not every child is cut out to go to a 4-year college, and if they do, all they're going to walk away with, if they make it those 4 years, is a truckload of debt. And no better job opportunity because they really haven't learned skills. And so the governor is very intent on making sure that people are career ready. And that means at a much earlier age, being able to work with those families and determine what's going to be the best fit for that child. Is it a career path or is it a college path? And making sure whatever that is, that it is respected equally in the state, and we are preparing them equally for that next step. School safety, that's a big topic. I tell you that, I'll probably get my dates wrong. I was elected to the Cabot School Board in 2011. I can assure you that there was never a time in 2011 that there was ever a conversation about is it school safety. Our schools are safe, right? What happened? Anybody remember? 2012, Sandy Hook. Massive shootings. Every school district in the state went into warp speed trying to figure out a way. Now we got to make our schools safe. They thought they were safe to start with. Thousands and thousands of dollars was spent, and they were no more safer than they were the day before. Went to 2 or 3 years in a row there. Everybody, hey, we spent all this money, we did this, we put locks, we think our schools are safe. And what happens? Parkland. Now we think our schools are safe. School safety is, if we don't do anything this session, I don't want a shooting on the school fatalities on my watch. And so I'm pushing hard to make sure that your kids, your grandkids, your, probably no great-grandkids, your kids, grandkids are safe when they go to school. I cannot imagine the fear of a mother putting their child on the school bus and worrying from day to day if their child is going to be safe. School safety is a big issue for the governor as well. Teacher pay. Teacher pay is a big issue. You all know there was a major media push back when, was it Carlton, November, October, somewhere like that. We were during the advocacy process, also back in the summer, and several of us just absolutely got slaughtered by the Democrats by putting out propaganda that was not true, saying that myself, I think Carlton, I think you were on the list, that we voted against giving teachers raises. And that is the farthest thing from the truth. It never happened. There's probably no one on my committee that's more sympathetic towards the compensation levels, and that's not to discredit Representative Wayne or any of the other 18 members of the committee, about that's more sympathetic towards where we are in teacher compensation right now.